Hello there, vinyl community. It's Daniel. I'm back here with another update. And with this, I got some exciting stuff to be showing you. I have a lot of 8-track tapes, a lot of LPs, and I'm expecting even more 8-tracks for the next update, so I'm very excited for that. But I'm going to start off this video very, very differently. I'm going to start off with a story, and I'll even put like a little annotation maybe right here or something like that as to when you can actually get to me showing records if you don't want to hear my story. So, this is my story. A friend and I went to St. Petersburg from where I live, which is like a 2.5 hour, 3 hour drive, because Brute Force, aka Stephen Friedland, was doing a show in St. Petersburg, and I told him that I would try to go. And I met him. It was really nice. We went to dinner with him because like he asked us if we were just going back after the show. We're like, no, we're probably gonna grab a bite to eat and head back. He's like, oh, you should get dinner with us, and we had dinner with him. It was pretty fantastic. Of course, we got him to sign some Apple stuff. I got some stuff from him, and let me cover up his personal info, but this is his business card. And I got him to sign an Apple sleeve right here. You probably can't see it. Oh, yeah, it is showing up a little well. Connect the dots on a heart. Very nice. And these are some discs that I got from him. This is Come and Get It, the Best of Apple Records, and of course this has King of Thought on it. This is Planet Work, which is another one of his great albums. This one I have the cover on backwards because I was checking out the track listing, but it's a Tour de Brute Force. And this is his debut album, I, Brute Force, Confections of Love. And the show was pretty fantastic, and it was overall just an unforgettable experience. Just a genuinely, honestly, a nice man, and, you know, the food was really good, too, so we went to a really nice restaurant. But, I can't complain about that whatsoever, and it was a really cool experience. So, you know, I just thought I wanted to share that with you guys, and it was very much a lot of fun. And now let's go on to the finds. So we're at like 2 minutes 5 seconds. Let's go on with that. Here's the first one. This one I've been looking for a long time. It's a bit of a reissue, but it's a fairly early reissue, and it's in really nice condition. So, maybe this could be the thumbnail or something, because I'm really proud of this because it's in such nice condition. Ogden's Nut Gone Flake, original, not an original, UK copy of Ogden's Nut Gone Flake from the 70s. It's not separated at all, everything is still intact, and it's just a very nice copy of this album, and it's one of my favorite Small Faces albums. I really love the debut, too, so we got that, and then this flap lives up to just kind of expose where the disc is kept, which of course I have the disc kept out of this because you don't want to keep it in this. I have it in a MoFi sleeve. It's on the White Immediate label with the NEMS credit, and it's a really nice disc. The disc on it is near mint. There's no scuff, scratches, or anything on it, and the playback is just flawless. So this next record is one that it's a little bit, again, of a later reissue, but only by a year or two. And this still has the original cover, and I'm going to be showing a copy of this later as well, because I have multiple copies of this album now, and it's one of my favorite Psych albums of all time. It's a fantastic record. 666 by Aphrodite's Child. Probably one of my favorite Psych albums of all time. In my top 10, definitely. Just a masterpiece, and this is such a really nice condition copy. It has the original inner sleeves, and it's on these Starship, UFO, I guess you could call labels. And, you know, there's just a little bit of a scuff here and there from the paper, but other than that, the disc is really nice. Yeah, it played back fantastic. I have no complaints with it whatsoever. So now I have the UK copy with the black cover, and I have the US copy with the original cover. So that's pretty fantastic. And of course, this is a 2-record set. This next one is a Grateful Dead release, and I've been trying to get up on my original Dead collection, because I see a lot of the reissues, but I really want originals. And this is a nice original. I got it for a very good price because someone wrote their name on it. But it has the original sleeves, but it's missing the insert, and I actually didn't know this had an insert, or else, well, I would have probably still gotten it, to be completely honest, because it was a very good price. This is a Grateful Dead Live Dead. And I really like this back cover. It's a pretty good condition copy, actually. It has both the original inners, and of course it's a 2-record set, auto-coupled. This is the inner sleeves, and it's on the green Warner Brothers 7 Arts label. And it's auto-coupled, so that's side 1 with side 4 right there. And this is side 2 with side 3 right here. And the discs are pretty nice. Whoever played these didn't really, play them too much. They're probably a lower-end VG Plus or a higher-end VG. I wouldn't put them excellent level, but they're fairly nice. This next one I've been wanting for a long time because I never see any originals of it. And it's one of my favorite albums by this man. And, of course, I consider it an essential. Transformer by Lou Reed, original 1972 pressing on RCA. Orange label, Dynaflex, the good stuff. Here's the spine on it. I haven't been showing the spines this whole time, I apologize, but all those have pretty nice legible spines, minus Ogden's Knuck-on Flake, because it doesn't really have a spine. It has the original inner, but it has like slight tears over here. But the disc is really nice. VG Plus. It just has some very light paper scuffs from being in there, but whoever had this didn't really play it much at all. So can't really complain about that one for such a classic album. We're going from a classic to a band moving with the scene that still try to remain relevant, and this is still a really good album, though. It's a pretty good psych blues sort of country effort as well in some parts, and I don't really know what to rank this as, but this is Human Ball by the McCoys. This came out in 1968, I believe. And yeah, McCoys with Rick Derringer. It's a pretty nice condition copy. I think it has a hole. Does it? Yeah, it's a hole punch copy. It has a price written on the front. So the cover, it's still pretty nice aside from that. And the disc just looks like it was never played. Whoever had this looked like they never played it. This is the final record that I got from that store. And this is in the shrink wrap. It's in really nice condition. And this is I believe their third album. It's all covers, but they do fantastic covers, and I really want to get some more stuff by this artist. This is the Rotary Connection songs with, of course, Minnie Riperton. Legendary female vocalist. She has an amazing voice. And this is on Cadet Concept with the original inner sleeve. And it's in very nice condition as well. The disc is not too far away from the jacket in condition, because the jacket just looks crisp. That's a really nice condition jacket. And let me show the spine on this. There we go. This next one is a Record Store Day box set that I got because it was very discounted as well. And I wanted this when it came out, but it's sold out, and it was really expensive as well when it came out. This one wasn't really expensive at all, because I got it secondhand from the record store. And let me not take off the front cover. Let me just show it as it is right now. This is Bo Promo, David Bowie. And there's a little bit of residue right here that's sticky. I haven't tried to get that off yet, but I'll do it at some point. Yeah, and it's basically a one-sided alternate mixes / alternate versions of stuff that would later be on Ziggy Stardust and Hunky Dory from when he didn't have a record contract. I think it was his manager tried press this up for him to get a contract, basically, with another female singer on the B-side. And it comes with this brown envelope, sort of fancy. And it has these really nice pictures of David Bowie inside. I'm talking about exquisite photos of, just pretty much outtakes, assumably outtakes from the Hunky Dory photo session. So yeah, that's really nice. And it also comes with paperwork about the story of this. And I guess the female vocalist that was on the B-side was Dana Gillespie. I wouldn't have been able to remember that name, so I'm glad it says it on here. And let me get into the track listing in a second. But here's what the track listing appears as. It even tells you the differences in the mixes and the updated credits and everything. It also comes with this green paper. It's a very minimalistic cover with a flip back cover at that, with the thing there as well. David Bowie Rough Mix. And the track listing is on the disc so you can see it better now. And it's one-sided. Here's the label. This next one right here, this is even more Lou Reed. This is his first album, which is what I've heard is a real big, tough one to find, but I have, I didn't realize that when I got it, because I got it for a really fair price, and it's in really good condition as well. It's a Hollywood pressing. It has 6 right there. Here's the spine. And the disc has the original inner as well. And I actually didn't get this at the same store as Transformer. I found this at a different store at a different time. So it just happened to coincide really well that I got Lou Reed's first 2 albums within a week of each other, maybe. So that's really nice. And some of these don't have outer sleeves, and I just ordered about 100 outer sleeves on eBay. So when those come, I'll definitely be sleeving my records because some of these need sleeves. These next two are Velvet Underground. These two were in the same collection, I think, as the Lou Reed one. This is Velvet Underground VU, which is this is all the stuff from the stuff that they did after their third album, but before Loaded. So of course it has like Oceans, I Can't Stand It, Stephanie Says, Lisa Says, Foggy Notion, Andy's Chest, which the version of Andy's Chest on here is really interesting than what was on Transformer. And of course I'm Sticking With You, which has Lou and Mo on it. And both these actually have the exact same inner sleeve and sort of the same label. This one's in the shrink and the other one I'm going to show isn't. But they have the same inner sleeve documenting the story of the Velvet Underground. So now I pretty much have the whole Velvet Underground recorded discography for their studio albums. So really happy with that. And I'm going to be working next on my Lou Reed collection because I don't have quite nearly enough Lou Reed as I think I should. And I know that some of his albums are tougher to find, like Metal Machine music, but I don't really consider those essentials as well because those are... We're not going to speak about those. But this is Another View. I like that the title is a pun. It really appeals to me. But it's here's the spine on this one. I didn't show the spine on the Velvets. And again, same style inner sleeve. And this one, same style, sort of verb label. And they're both, the discs are near mint. The cover on this one is maybe VG because it has some sticker wear. But the other one is VG Plus near mint. There's a sticker wear right there. So you can't get everything perfect, I guess. But both these were a really nice price. And since they're from the same collection, I can't really resist that. This one right here, since I need to bulk up on collections, I really want to get everything from these guys as well, because I've been really getting into these guys, and I've only had their debut. So this is New Improved Blue Cheer. This has Randy Holden on it from The Other Half, which is another San Francisco-based site group. But it has a really interesting cover. I don't know what that's really... It kind of reminds me of a bird, but it's definitely interesting. There's a spine on it. And this one right here, really nice condition as well on Phillips. It has a little speck of dust on it. Right here is a German pressing, Volunteers by Jefferson Airplane. Kind of strange because it doesn't have a gatefold like the normal US ones did, but it is a laminated cover. And here's the spine on that one as well. And I don't know if this is the original inner sleeve. It's what it came with. And it's on the orange RCA label, and it's always nice to see an orange label like this that isn't on Dynaflex, because I actually do like this label a bit. And the German ones aren't Dynaflex, so you get actual good quality vinyl with it. So that's that's a big one right there. And this is one of the ones I was saying definitely needs an outer sleeve. So can't wait till those outer sleeves come. This next one I know is pretty scarce, and I had to do surgery on it, but it's okay. I got it for a few dollars. And here it is, because the entire top half of this album cover was destroyed. So I made an effort to make it look nicer, so I cut off the top half, and that was just cardboard, like shattered. I cut that off, made it level, and there's still a tear in the top that you can't really fix because it was there. But it makes the cover look 10 times nicer, and it still does the job. Richie Valens right here. You see the tear I'm talking about right here. Other than that, everything on it's pretty nice. And right here, and the spine, you can kind of read it right there. But the disc is really nice. I got this for the disc because the disc is very solid, and this is one that I would definitely want to upgrade in the future with a nicer cover, because this disc deserves a nicer cover for a first pressing, because it is ultra clean. Ultra clean. Just VG Plus, near mints, for an original copy. This is a UK pressing right here of the Youngbloods Ride the Wind. I want to pump up on my Youngbloods collection as well, because I only have their debut. And yeah, like I said, this is a UK copy on their Raccoon Records. Here is the spine. Comes with this nice insert. And this is recorded live. Warner Brothers, and this one even has a Made in England sticker on side too. And the original inner. So you can't really complain about that one, because this one is only like $2 or $4, so you can't really complain about that for a UK issue. This is the one that separates this haul and the other haul. This right here is Yes, Time and a Word. This is their second album. I got this for $1 because it covers a little beat, but the disc is pretty nice. But it is last two numbers PR pressing, so I still need to check into that because it might be a first issue, but I really don't know. So we have that right there. That's a nice condition copy as well, so I can't complain because the disc is nice, so it'll play good. And this is the last haul that I got, and this first one welcomes my first African record in my collection, which is pretty interesting. It also has some of the worst Beatles covers that I've ever heard in my entire life, and I'm not gonna lie. This is the Beatles Story Part 2 on Music for Pleasure from Africa, because I found it for $1, and it's horrendous. The music is just, the covers are awful. The guy that does the Paul vocals is 10 times better than the guy that does the John vocals. It sounds like really good bar karaoke, basically. It's not a treat for the ears. It's cool to have just because I guess I want those Beatles cake toppers. I think they'd look really good on top of my shelf, so I need these cake toppers, I guess. This one right here is the same issue as one of my other Doors reissues. It's like a 2010 reissue remaster of Morrison Hotel. I got this for like $8 at the record store. And the disc on it sounds fantastic, and that's what counts. They replicate the inner sleeve and everything, but they do it really poorly. Let's wait till you see this. It's buckle up. So, let me show the disc first. First, they used the wrong kind of label. They used like an 80s label with like this little Electra E, which bothered me because I'm like, why didn't you replicate it like the original one like they did on my Waiting for the Sun that I have? And the inner sleeve that they replicate is just awful. It is just awful. The pictures on here are so blurry. It's really, really bad. But the disc sounded fantastic. That's the thing that mattered. The disc sounded absolutely great. So that made up for everything. So it had some redeeming qualities, and that's what counts. This next one is an upgrade for me because I had to Frankenstein and get it a first pressing disc because this was a later pressing cover in the shrink. So now I have pieced together a really nice original. So, Bridge Over Troubled Water by Simon and Garfunkel in the shrink. Really nice spine. Has the original inner sleeve. And original first issue disc in a really nice condition because my other one was the red and yellow label because I think it was a 1970 pressing, but this one is the original. This is in the shrink as well, and an upgrade for me with the hype sticker. This is Hums of the Lovin' Spoonful on Kama Sutra. Original copy. No hole punches or anything, which is a big one for me because I generally see all Lovin' Spoonful stuff with a hole punch because it was I think it was teeny bopper music back in the day, so I'm guessing a lot of them were just buying the singles and not the albums. This is Steve Miller Band number 5 on Capitol Records. This is the green label. Spine on that's pretty legible as well. And yeah, just pretty nice condition. Doesn't really have any big scuffs or scratches. It does on side 2, but side 1 is almost perfect. Alright, these next two are by the same artist, and they were really welcome additions to the collection, because I didn't even have anything by these guys beforehand. But oh boy, this is some fantastic stuff, very controversial stuff. This is the Fugs' second album with the Shield cover, the rare Shield cover, and really, it's an interesting listen. It is a really interesting listen. If you guys haven't listened to the Fugs, and you just want to hear some pure 60s angst, political controversy, and just foulness, go and check this out if you haven't listened to the Fugs. It's great. This is their third album. This is Tenderness Junction with, yeah. Oh yeah, I did it right because I forgot which side the gatefold started, so there we go. And this is on the 3-tone reprise label. That one was from 66. This one is from 67. This is a 2-disc set right here. John Lee Hooker, Endless Boogie. Got a wide array of guests on there, including Gino Skaggs, Steve Miller, Jesse Ed Davis, Billy Ingram. Who else do I recognize on here? Carl Radle, Mark Knaflin. So yeah, you had a lot of really interesting guests on here. This is a 2-record set. Here's both discs. They both have the same inner sleeve, and it's on ABC. It's auto-coupled as well, which is sad. I don't like auto-coupled discs. No one really uses stacker turntables anymore. But I know that they were the big thing back when this was released. But I just didn't ever see the point in auto-coupling. Because people without the stacker turntables made it like 10 times worse on. This one right here is a welcome addition to my Van Morrison collection. This is St. Dominic's Preview. This has the inserts, and it's a pretty nice condition copy. Here's the insert, just very small. It's like a little program, sort of. And it's on the Warner Reprise Warner Brothers Green label. And the last record I'm going to show before I go on to all my cassettes and 8-tracks I found is this. And this is an upgrade for me again, because this is on the Shrink with the Hype sticker. This is the Peppermint Rainbow. Will You Be Staying After Sunday? With some very loose shrink, I might mention. Incredibly loose shrink wrap. And this is on Decca. And it's near mint because, you know, this was, again, really just big teeny bopper music. So, yeah, I can imagine that a lot of the copies that did sell, they just listened to it once and were like, eh. So I have a big stack of 8 tracks to show, and I'm going to start it off with a sealed one. And it is the only sealed one in the lot versus one that was sealed, that was resealed, that was claimed to be an original sealed, but I don't really care because it was a really, really good price anyway, so I figured why not get it, but it wound up being resealed, so I opened it. But this right here is still sealed, and it is an original. This is Badfinger Magic Christian Music. Still sealed, on 8-track. And this one right here is the most expensive 8-track. This is the most I've ever spent on a single 8-track. I spent $20 on this, okay? And people are probably going to be thinking, oh, why do you spend $20 on an 8-track? Well, one, it has the slipcase. And two, it is a very rare title on 8-track. I had to add the listing into Discogs for this 8-track. And this 8-track is 666 by Aphrodite's Child, an original 1972 release of it. And this was a big one for me because I've been really getting into 8-tracks and trying to find some of the scarcer titles on it. And yes, it's on Vertigo, and I was very excited to get this. I actually just got this yesterday. It was completely rebuilt inside, new splices, new pads, new everything. So I didn't have to do a single thing to it. But all these other ones I did have to repair and everything. This one was interesting because it was sealed when I got it, but there was so much wear underneath the shrink wrap that didn't coincide with the shrink wrap. I opened it because I was like 99% sure it had just been resealed, and I was correct. An Earth Song, Ocean Song by Mary Hopkin. And I kept this shrink wrap on. I don't know why, because it doesn't really coincide and it just doesn't match up for it. I mean, the label looked nice enough to where I thought it was, and I still haven't even played it. You can see that there's like scratches and slide marks from actually being put into a player. And the label, the thing that was, well, not a dead giveaway, but one of the dead giveaways for me was how yellowed everything was underneath the shrink wrap. Like, look at the difference between the two. And this has wear on the label, and it had wear on a little bit of wear on this, to where it made me suspicious, and I opened it, and I confirmed my suspicion that it was just resealed, but it's still a really nice one to have. Moody Blues in Search of the Lost Chord. This is Grateful Dead live album. This is their self-titled live album on Warner Brothers, of course. This is one with a rare sort of cover. It's Love It to Death by Alice Cooper with the band cover, and it's a 8-track of that, so that's really interesting. This one didn't have a label on the end because it was ripped off, so I had to make one. But this is Shh by 10 Years After. And this is Average White Band, but it's missing the slipcase, but it's Average White Band, so you gotta have some Average White Band in the collection. I have these two by 10cc, How Dare You. And the original soundtrack, which I needed to pop the tops back in place. There we go. Because all these I take apart, rebuild. I put in new splices, new pads, and I only spent like a few hours doing that. This is my first Electra Green Shell tape, and this is classic Tom Rush. And this one was a pain because inside all the tape had fallen off, and it had gotten eaten by someone's player, and then they just threw it back in here and never fixed it. So if I take this apart now, I actually got it, perfect and everything. Pads are nice, so can't really complain because I did get it working. This one has the slip case as well, and I always enjoy finding these ones with the slip cases. Graham Central Station mirror right here. 2 Years On by the Bee Gees. The first album by Ram Jam. Al Green, Green is Blues, and this is a Columbia Record Club issue. Aretha Franklin, live at Fillmore West, I believe. Yes. Steve Miller Band, Greatest Hits, 74 to 78. And this is a club cart. The Persuasion Street Corner Symphony. And these are some cassettes now. So let's start off with this bundle right here. This is Neil Young Decade, cassette 1 and cassette 2. And all these, the tapes are in there. Everything's good on them. And I made sure they all have that if the pads weren't glued in, that I glued in pads, or that the tape wasn't bunched up. So, I've made sure all these are nice. That's Decade. And then right here, we have Some Girls by the Rolling Stones. Talking Book by Stevie Wonder. This is also a Columbia Record Club cart. Driving Rain by Paul McCartney. This is a Mexican cassette of Bob Marley and the Wailers' Uprising. This is Paul McCartney Unplugged, the official bootleg. This is the first album by Blind Faith. It's an 80s pressing, though, with the original cover. Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, Damn the Torpedoes. Prince and the New Power Generation, with this artwork actually being on the shell itself, or the case. I'm so used to calling it shells because 8 tracks. But not actually on the artwork. Sly and the Family Stone, Greatest Hits. This is an actual Jamaican issue of Mystic Man by Peter Tosh. Traveling Wilburys, Volume 1. And to end it on a strong note, Ice Cream Castle by Morris Day and the Time. So I'm really excited that I got to be able to tell you guys a good story, show you some great vinyl, and show you some great 8 tracks and cassettes as well. And keep in mind, I still do have a contest going on. It is a nice pair, and it is involving anything with 2s, because I've reached past my 200 subscriber mark. And there's going to be 2 winners with that one, so if you haven't checked out my video on it already, please do, because I plan on getting at least a few entries so that, I could have a little variety. So thank you guys so much for watching and for all the support, and I hope you all have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace and love.